That's where we at right now. So, what do you think I should do? Like, what do you think would be another food thing?
Oh, well, you got the trip to. I mean, well, I don't know. I was gonna say you got the trip to Tennessee coming up. Like that right there is gonna be a bomb blog because that's 3 days worth of a barbecue festival. I mean, if it ain't, if you don't get to talk about food, then I don't know what's wrong. But I feel like that to me would be the next hot video. Your experience there at a barbecue. Y'all know Tennessee is known for their barbecue.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Ant. Shout out to his girl GB, aka Gangsta Boo. Nah, even tell me about her. Like, she's smart. She like law like. Tell me about it. Like, oh, I think this one right here is something special. I feel like she do like law stuff and everything, but she a little hood.
Then that's the
So
best
I started
one.
saying, so I was like, how you and GB doing?
Look, he got himself a little Tasha St. Patrick. Kind of smart, like smart but hood. I mean, Tasha St. Patrick.
Yep.
Shout out to all you power watchers out there. We big on it.
And I'm proud of
Big
it.
on it.
But yeah, and his folks is like a few minutes out from Memphis. So I'm gonna get up with them.
Get up with
the rest of Bean.
Mr. Neil, Miss Barbara.
Get up with them.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you.
And I didn't want to go there.
Y'all caught me. Yes, the hotter. Yes, creating just a little bit of snot, a little bit. That's a little bit.
It's good though.
But it's good. My mouth ain't stopped moving. I mean, I'm still eating, and look where the sauce was. It's gone. So I didn't stop everyone up.
Did you? Am I eating all these, or you getting them too? The shrimp.
I had wings.
Oh, okay.
You didn't like the wings. You like the shrimp. The shrimp kind of rough on the gums.
Yeah.
I just had a dentist appointment.
So if you had like something, if there was like real hot, and then this, you had what I call it chandeliers. You know, you know how your roof of your mouth be hanging a little bit. I call it when you eat something hot and it got some texture to it. Or it's like say you eat something hot and you eat some chips or something. When you eat something hard, I call it the chandelier.
Yeah, because it's like the skin hanging down.
Right. Yeah.
You get the Captain Crunch mouth. The Captain Crunch mouth. Look, I'm telling you. We all love Captain Crunch, but them joints be hard in the morning. That's why I was like, you got the Captain Crunch mouth.
No, the shrimp do got a little crunch mouth.
Yeah, that's why I was like, the shrimp kind of strong. But, yeah, I had a dentist appointment Friday, so I was like, yeah, the shrimp. A little extra crunch be hurting the gums.
You think the fish is pretty good? I ain't got bones in it.
The fish
got a little bit of bones.
Just a little bit. You know, you guys.
But that's good, though. I mean, you got some good fish, you got some real fish.
What's this, whiting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what whiting don't have bones? All whiting has bones. Even if it's just a little bit.
I didn't even eat. Maybe I need to drink some of this chicken and this mambo sauce.
All right, let me get up on this.
Look at this joint, though. I need to write a letter or email. Like, come on, fam.
Times are hard, dude.
This 6-piece right here. Let me see how this joint tastes, even though. This joint gonna give you the chandeliers.
Look, the shrimp was worse than me.
What currency say? Chandeliers. Stoned Immaculate. Mm-hmm.
Yep. The Stoned Immaculate. That's a good CD. It is. My favorite, well, one of my favorite, well, I have to say my favorite joint.
He put out so much music.
Privacy Glass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he'd be like, Privacy Glass. Did he say Chandelier Ceilings? I think that was the one, yeah.
Privacy Glass.
Yep. Spitter, he been consistent. You got the merch, the music. You got the car shops.
Yeah, he got some nice car classics.
He was on Drink Champs, and he was like, he had about 28, 30 whips, something like that.
I can believe it. And they all old school.
And that's better because and he owns his own shops. So you get like an old dump for like $5,000. You put some work into it. And then you look at, let's say you buying a Rolls Royce or something. You spend like 200 bands, you know what I'm saying?
Minimum.
For what he can get so many old schools for that price. You know what I'm saying?
And he does have a lot of old schools. Monte Carlos, Eldorados, and
Chevys and
Chevys. Yeah.
Got me an RS in the garage though. Little drip. Hey, you remember when Adrian Bronner did that? I don't know if you remember the boxer. He was like, yeah. He was like, all this drip. He was like, and shout out to so-and-so and them, and I don't even know who and them is. Matter of fact, I'll probably insert that joint. Boom.
I'm about to beat this motherfucking ass on God, man. And I don't know who NM is, man. Flat out. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't worrying about too much, you know what I'm saying? It's the first time I'm over here with all this drip. Get me snapping the pictures. You know what I'm saying?
So we're gonna say, out of these three, this one gonna take the crown right here.
That one takes the crown. By far.
Takes
I mean,
the crown.
but don't get me wrong. The other two, oh yeah, use those hand down.
Don't get it misconstrued. Cause you got the white truffle. This one's sexy. That's the best way to say it. This one's sexy. And then you got the original right here. You just can't go wrong with this one.
Right.
And then once you start having the rum flowing and the drinks and the food and you like which one is which, the only one you really know the difference, well, I can't really tell right now except for this one because it's a bit brighter than the rest of them. But
you have to actually taste it.
And then after a while, it's just mellow, and it'll catch up to you. But it ain't going. Once you get past the first few bites, it ain't going to be overbearing or nothing like that. I don't think so, unless you don't really mess with hot food at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I thought this was good. But yeah, Memphis is going to be it's going to be really good. But I do want to get like more stuff going like right here on set. And thinking about getting Brooks, Matt, over here one of these days. Definitely McShane. Or we might just do like a little episode over there because the last time he was playing poker and stuff, and he got a nice setup at his crib. And just probably just let the cameras roll, and if I catch some good sound bites, which I know I will, start throwing them joints into the music and just making songs and skits, because you know that's one thing that I do miss about the music, at least. You from a different era and you put me on a hip hop, but like the skits, like the albums had a story to tell. It had a feel. It wasn't just about getting to the bag or getting all these women in these cars. It was like fun. People had a like sense movies. Of humor. Yeah, and I just be like, it's so many sound bites or stuff that I hear. And me as an artist, I think I'm a little bit animated, so I just kind of incorporate that. But I want to just start incorporating like natural stuff like that. And I was watching the 2 Chainz interview on Drink Champs, and he was talking about how he was just letting the mic go. And Nori was like, yo, I didn't know that was real, but he loved like the skits because he would just be in the studio and let the joint record while the mic was out there with the soundboard and everybody and stuff, and got like some real deep stories where everybody just kind of relaxing, like kind of like how we are right now, and just throw it in there.
Yeah, that's what I think I definitely miss most about hip hop, the storytelling. And y'all will figure it out, but I'm getting ready to go way back. But if you remember just the stories that were told, whether it be Slick Rick, whether it be Nas, whether it be Big Daddy Kane, whether it be, who else was a great storyteller? I mean, Eric B. and Rakim. I mean, you could... For me, and I mean, definitely a CD that I'm going to bring up is an old throwback. I think I told you about it. Prince Paul, Prince Among Thieves. That CD from beginning to end is like a movie. It's a
Prince
full-on
Paul.
movie. The skits are in it, from play police officers doing skits and jail bids and girlfriends. I mean, it's out of control. That is the one CD that I can listen to from beginning to end without ever hitting skip. It's the perfect CD for a road trip because it's actually like, you know, Prince Paul, he's all about producing and filmmaking. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, Prince Paul. So it's his CD.
I
But
got some homework to do.
but it's literally an entire CD that I listened to from DC to Atlantic City straight through. And it's that long because there's so many skits in it. It's like a movie. But you could really enjoy it.
Prince Paul.
The music is Prince
Where
Paul.
you from?
Prince Paul, I believe Prince Paul is from New York. Prince Paul, I think, had his hand in, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this, folks, but I believe Prince Paul helped Ice Cube do Friday.
Oh, okay. I don't even know. I know DJ Pooh did for a fact. DJ Pooh was red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Prince Paul, I definitely got to look into that. And,
and the CD is called Prince Among Thieves. It's like 2 volumes. That's why I was like, I was able to go from DC to New Jersey. It's like, 3 hours tops.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely check out that. And so, you know, she put me on hip hop when I was a kid because she'd be watching videos, box, MTV, like
movies,
Yo MTV jams, like with
Electric
Ed Lover,
Boogaloo, Crush Groove,
Turbo and Ozone, Harmony Dancing. Even had Michael Jackson joint on records. She used to have stuff on records.
I had my first 2 albums. Look, it was like my 10th birthday, and I remember Dad asking me, "What do you want for your birthday? What do you want to do?" I requested to go to Tower Records. And now, for those who really old school and know, because there's no record stores, but Tower Records, if you remember, I ain't talking about Sam Goody. Some of you might remember the Sam Goody days, not Sam Goody. They used to be in the mall, but I'm talking about Tower Records, which was like the size of Walmart, but wall-to-wall records, magazines, cassettes.
And they were up high too, like out front.
Yes.
Like they were massive looking. And I was young, so...
Yes, that was the one place
huge.
You could go chill and actually put on headphones and sample and listen to all of the music free of charge before even making your purchase. It was the bombest thing. So I got taken to Tower Records and I picked out 2 albums. I picked out Michael Jackson Thriller and I picked out Eric B. and Rakim Paid in Full. And those were my first 2 pieces of music on vinyl.
Wow.
First 2.
Yeah.
So I had a love from the gate for hip hop.
I definitely want to get some turntables. Because I want to get into scratching too. That all these different elements of hip hop I've been trying to get into. Like, I know I always freestyle. I thought that was cool. Once I learned how to do that, I was able to rap. Then making beats, like with the metronome, be like, doo, 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 doo. I was a white boy with making beats when it first came. When I first tried to do it.
The Casio keyboard.
It was just hard to catch that little doo, doo, doo. But that's easy now, but turntables, I tried like once or twice. And I remember this dude, he went to Hilton, and then when they built Forest Park, some of y'all watching might remember. If y'all see him, tell him I said, well, his name was Carlton. I can't remember his last name. He had like this party one time. I came over there one time and he had the turntables. He had like a little room and he was just mixing and cutting. And I thought, I still think that is the dopest.
It is.
And I seen DJs do it online and stuff. And I think DJ Jazzy Jeff is the shit. Like, he like the best one to me. But, Carlton was doing it, and I tried to get on it, and I'm doing all this, not one scratch and nothing. So I was like, that's a real skill. It's a real craft to even get the sound to come out and then to be on beat and to switch the records. And like on my first joint, Basement Chronicles, my intro, I reached out to my cousin. He produced a lot of my content, like my beats. He go by Nameless, and y'all see him in the credits and featured on some songs. his boy, this dude he was connected with out in PA, what was his name? DJ Guardian. I reached out to him. I was like, I want something kind of like primo with the locks, like recognized or something like that. And he took the first part. I didn't tell him what parts to take, but I told him what I was doing, and he executed the hell out of it. And he took I was like, fresh off the plane, and you know I got my shine on. Had to leave the country, now I'm in another time zone. And he flipped that at the end. He was like, fresh, you remember that? Fresh off the plane. And he just killed it. And then the next one, I actually leased the beat only once. I probably won't do that no more unless I just buy the beat flat out. And DJ Payne 1, he's known in like YouTube and the industry too for like just leasing and putting out beats. And he had a hot joint with Styles P. I don't know if you remember, but Blood is Thicker, the last song me and Tremaine was on. Nameless. Yeah. That was one of his beats and his other dude, and it was just mixed up, and it had a Styles P piece in it.
That was. And
Styles P is one of my top 5 that are alive.
Styles P, but it's something about him.
This next album, I need to get some more. I like that element of hip hop, and Trey said he about to get turntables, and eventually I will. But like, if y'all don't know, like if you can master or even do a little razzle dazzle on the turntables, applause to y'all, because that's hip hop right there.
Yeah, man.
The DJ was bigger than the artist.
The way that, if you think back to Juice, remember that they had the actual DJ battles. It had nothing to do with rap. GQ was trying to be the next big local artist.
You local?
But he was getting mad. But yeah, that scratching and stuff like that was real. And it's annoying to some people though. So it ain't for everybody.
You know what I think is annoying when the DJ yelling on the beat. The facilitator.
Yeah, look, stop yelling, limit the amount of bombs being dropped, just let the music play. Look, that was the song too, y'all. That song was the bomb back then. Let the music play.
DJ Juice, J.U. Ice. Remember that from Mike. His mixtapes, I think he's from out California. He was dope too. He used to do the mixtapes with the R&B and hip hop like in the 90s and stuff. But like that's my favorite era. So when people I was just talking to AD and Joe on IG because we get on there every now and then. And they talking about going to Rolling Out Loud and something else. And Joe was like, no, once you come out there, I was like, man, I'm in a whole nother space right now with like the married life and the baby and stuff. And sometimes when I hear stuff, I really don't want her hearing that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And sometimes I just don't even want to hear it. I'm like, what did he say?
Yeah.
But that's why, no knock to anybody that's doing the stuff now because I love the beat. I love the energy. Yeah. But there's, it's just something about that golden era, like the 90s and the early 2000s was hit.
It made you listen.
Shout out to Layla because I know you're going to Houston, and I had my bachelor party in Houston.
H-Town?
Houston was lit, but they had this club called Jet Lounge. Yeah, I think it's called Jet Lounge. After the pandemic, I don't know if it's still open now, but they played 90s and early 2000s music. So it was nostalgia.
And that's the best kind. Like when you just mistakenly
handing me drinks
stumble
left and right.
upon a place like that, you never want to leave.
We saw, what's his name? He looked like D-Ray. King Kieran. He from Houston. He
you saw him.
But yeah, he was in Jet Lounge. I didn't realize until the playback. They were showing me. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying, the videos and stuff. But I did after I saw it, but the place was just so dope. He was in there. It just had a good vibe. Everywhere in Houston had a good vibe. The bartenders are toast with you. It was just a good vibe, and they said it was a lot of traffic and gonna be real hot, and this was in June. All of the days was nice. It wasn't extra humid. We didn't run into a lot of traffic. We Ubered everywhere. We was like 7 or 8 deep. And we were somewhere once where the some cops pulled up and even some on a bike. And we was like, oh, shoot, what's going on?
What's going on?
And it was like, nah, y'all good. And that's how cool it was. And they was like, we just want to see how all y'all going to fit in there. And we started laughing. And I think the last day, probably because we had so much fun, we started catching like 2 trucks because it was like 7
Yeah.
of us. Like the last day, we was like, all
Yeah,
right,
y'all
we're
did
gonna
it.
split
Y'all
up.
did it right.
Yeah.
Had a nice group to go out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I would like to get out to Houston. I've never been to Houston.
Yeah, Corey. Who was it? Corey, RJ McShane, Matt. Shout out to Quest because he was out there and he was showing us the way, and he was like manager at Red Lobster, so he or Outback, and we ate good.
Either
for
one
the
good.
low. He was showing us the different spots out there. We was taking shots at the Ralph Lauren in there. They was pouring us yak, you know, black hostess in there. It was just so much love, and it was cool. Oh yes, Sun, not Chris, but the other one, McShane boy. Dang, I can't even think of his name right now. But you know who he is. He was out there with us too. We had the youngin with us. We just had a good time out there.
I definitely want to get to Houston. I hear Houston. Look, they said that's where they having all
Jamie,
the fun.
Shout out to Jamie. You remember Jamie, my old roommate?
Yeah,
I can't forget. Jamie was out there.
Y'all was out there deep.
And then, like, one of the last few days, me and Corey, I went to an Astros game. The Astros was playing. That was the year they won the championship right after we left. Me and Corey went to the Astros game. They hit a home run right over us. That joint was lit. I walked out in an H-Town hat and a shirt.
Yeah.
So I was just a whole vibe.
Blend in.
And then later that night, we went to Papados. That was the first time I went to Papados.
You know what?
Ate all that seafood.
Oh, Papados is so good. I swear, I was listening to something by Yo Gotti today, and he was like, I'm waiting on my food from Papados. I'm like, there is nobody that don't know about Papados. Papados was so good. We had it in Colorado. It was so good. Right before the shutdown. Literally, we were there in March 2020 for Spring's wedding. And that
right
same
before the
day,
country shut down.
Right before the country
day.
shut down. It was the last day because I think we were at the restaurant and they had got word that the next day, shut down.
The country shut down.
Shut down.
So our last meal before that was
Papados.